भाई तुम लोग को ज्वाइन करने को इतना टाइम क्यों लगता है यार?
ए आई जॉइंड डोंट डू ऑल ऑफ दैट। ये आयुष पता नहीं किधर है, अभी बहुत टाइम हो गया उसको।
चल आ ही गए तो पहली बात तो तू किधर है भाई राइट नाउ?
No, bro, I'm with this girl at the moment, so like, you feel me?
So okay, what, you're settling down or what? You're wifing her up and shit finally?
And are you gonna call her back?
नहीं यार, मेरे को यार कमिटमेंट वगैरह से मैं आई एम फार अवे फ्रॉम ऑल ऑफ दैट शिट. आई जस्ट नीड समवन फॉर द नाइट एंड I just met her in the club in the first fucking place.
At the club? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, let's just say for the sake of the conversation, that she thinks I'll call her back, but we both know how that's gonna end. Like, so like,
ये तेरा तो कुछ तू सुधरता ही नहीं है भाई. How about, you know what, you just kind of, you meet us tomorrow.
ब्रो तू कल मिल ब्रो, हमें कल मिल, कल बात करते हैं.
चल भाई मिलते हैं भाई, पक्का पक्का 100% भाई.
You really need to consider.
I mean, you can't just keep on doing these flings all the time. You have
Yeah.
to focus on what you want
Yeah.
and settle
कभी
down
तो
for it.
yeah exactly. कभी तो मतलब you need to at least consider, where you're going. You can't just be doing this, but we'll think about it.
This is not alcohol. I've never had a drop of alcohol in my life.
We switched it out with water.
We promise.
Not alcohol.
It's definitely water. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I'm not a drunk.
All right, everyone. Welcome back to the Open Ended Podcast, episode 4. Today, you are here with Vansh Iyer
Gautam Yapte.
and.
Ayush Vyas, the one and only. Woo! The truth.
So, Ayush, would you like to introduce yourself to the audience a little?
Definitely. Hello, everybody. I'm Ayush Vyas. I'm 20 years old, pursuing physiotherapy. I love Manchester United and I love the New York Knicks.
Okay. And a little more, maybe?
I hate Arsenal, I hate OKC, and I hate the San Antonio Spurs.
Okay. And a little more other than hating and loving?
What's more?
What are you studying? Where are you from?
I'm from Mumbai. I'm studying physiotherapy currently in Surat.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
great.
What are you doing here in this undisclosed location?
Yeah.
I'm here for the podcast. I'm here for my time to shine, bro.
So you're here specifically for the open-ended podcast?
Yes, sir.
Woo!
Okay, Ayush. So let's get to the billion-dollar question. Why is it that people are more into, and you can just share your opinion, okay? Why do you think people are more into casual hookups than actually spending time or being in meaningful or building meaningful relationships with people and actually spreading love, right? Why do you think that is?
See, I think you'd agree to me on the statement as a man that we end up thinking with our little heads more than we think with our big heads.
Gautami, what do you think?
I
Even you
feel
know that.
I feel like the only response that I have to this is so that I can, have like this massive laugh, which I don't want to. Can you say the same thing again?
We end up thinking with our little heads more than we think with our bigger heads. And everybody would agree to that fact. I'm sorry.
Everybody. Did you take a poll?
I know men.
Bro has statistics.
I know men.
हाँ मैंने पूरे के पूरे कॉलेज को पूछा, मैंने स्कूल को पूछा, मैंने बिल्डिंग को पूछा.
No, but
No, I
genuinely.
mean, I understand that. I feel like you are really underestimating how much women also think in that way. But
Yeah, that is why we have more hookups than we have relationships.
but personally, for you, why do you think that people would be inclined towards something like that all the time? Because in the sense of looking at how people nowadays, especially, are so much more on different dating apps. And I don't know if you have ever been on a dating app, but if you have been, I have heard that a lot of more people are looking into things that are casual, FWB, looking for nothing serious, just friends. But I'm just here to make quote unquote meaningful connections, some bullshit like that, which just means please don't text me all the time.
Yeah.
So
Like, I personally think that for me, relationships have been a burden on my mental health, and I personally just look for somebody that I can, get laid with and then forget about it the next morning, because I don't want to care about anything else. Like, I still want to get my needs fulfilled, but I just don't want the luggage that comes with it.
what needs?
Sexual needs. Everybody knows that. Everybody wants to get laid, bro.
No. Okay, well, I get that point, right? But then again, uh, I don't understand that. How is it that majority? I mean, I cannot say this for sure. I don't think I have the facts, right? But I don't want to even say majority, but I can say a lot. Okay, the number is huge, definitely. Okay, and it is very visible as well. It's not even like I'm pulling it out of my ass. Like it's there. Like it's pretty visible that a lot of people are more into having no strings attached to relationships and not having actual relationships. And I think this also connects to another topic that I want to talk about further into the podcast. But yeah, like I think I'll give my opinion on it as well. I wanted to add in is that I think people have become scared. Okay, at least that's my view of it, how I see it, that people have become, or could be one of the reasons as well, like people have become scared to love, because now love is definitely comes with hurt feelings, that is for sure, right? You cannot have love and you cannot, you will be hurt
Yeah, love
one way or
isn't
the other.
perfect.
Exactly, right? And so I can understand why people would, be inclined or would avoid uh, getting into something serious, because if it is painful, nobody wants to do it. Everyone would like an easy way out, right? People would look for the easiest option available, where you don't have to be emotionally connected, or you don't have to put in that emotional availability, vulnerability out there. You don't have to be vulnerable with someone.
Why would you like to be vulnerable with anyone?
Yeah, yeah, it's like that. मैं क्यों करूँ? एक बार option है तो मैं क्यों करूँ? But like I feel that's the fun. That little risk that you take, right? That little risk knowing that either this could fuck me up for a year, or this could genuinely build something and keep me happy for the longest time in my life. You know, and I personally would love to take on that bet every time. Because if I'm able to make and build something that could genuinely cherish, like like a relationship, like a growing a plant, right? Water is your efforts that you put in, the love that you give in, right? I think of course it will hurt when it ends. अगर वो मुरझा जाता है झाड़, तो of course it will hurt. But वो process where you're putting in that water and you see it grow, I think nothing can compare to that. You can hook up countless amount of times, but nothing will get close to that. That is what I feel. Again, I have not personally been into casual hookups or anything like that, but I can for sure, but I have been in love multiple times, and I can tell you, even if I've been hurt after that, wo part where I was in love with someone, the part where I was putting in efforts for someone, the part where they were putting in efforts for me, I was the happiest man alive, and I genuinely would recommend it to anyone and everyone. Fall in love as much as you can, okay? Whether it be with a person or anything else, falling in love is the best thing ever. That is what I feel.
See, personally, as someone who's been on both sides of the court, on the love side ends up being very slippery, because, like, our generation's point of view about love has always been very complicated.
थोड़ा माइक पास में रखना. Yes.
Our generation's point of view about love has always been very complicated. I would say people nowadays overcomplicate love. Like, you have to do so many things just to get somebody's attention.
Yeah,
And I think personally, if from my personal experiences, no matter how much you give into it, the person who's standing in front of you may never match it, and that is a bet that I am afraid to take.
so
Because see, like genuinely speaking, if I am investing in something, I need that payout, and if I don't get that payout which I always wanted, then I'll stop myself from doing anything for that investment.
I get that. So I do feel that it is more of like a instead of a subscription, it's like getting just one thing at a time. I feel like
Yeah.
that's what hookups are. Because why you don't want to, as you said, you don't want to invest in something that is that much. But at the same time, when you're talking about putting efforts and getting to understand the person and everything, कि you're not sure कि तुम्हें भी वही मिलेगा जो तुम दे रहे हो, the bet that you're a bit scared of taking. I feel like it is not either zero or either 100. It's like very small steps where you have the time. I don't think anyone falls in love like, falling off a cliff.
Yeah.
And no one does that. And if I, they don't do it. If they think that they are in love as such, then it is probably a obsession, it's probably infatuation. It is not love. You cannot fall in love in a week or two, or even, one look or anything. So if you are trying to put efforts into something, and I feel like the best part about the generation here would be that they are aware if how it's not very stigmatized now कि मैं प्यार नहीं कर सकता, मैं प्यार नहीं कर सकती. If I like someone, then it's going to be all look down and look up wale hints. You can tell people that, and you can see how it goes. And most mature people, they will take it in a way where it is not going to be that hurtful for either of the people. Of course, it would be hurtful if there is rejection, then that would be hurtful, but it should not cause high emotional change in someone. So those little steps that you take वो determine करता है कि would you even want to go further or not. If you're taking a particular road, if you want to take a U-turn, if you want to take left or right, you can decide it then and there. You don't have to keep on going further. But at the same time, relationships nowadays, they are complicated. I can say that they are. People are expecting a lot, especially because of social media. You see people are doing like 100 things. Oh, my boyfriend got me like a bouquet of like 10 roses every week. It's not possible for normal people. And first of all, everyone needs to lower their expectations. Feel like the bare minimum or the standard should be receiving things that are not materialistic, and understanding कि time and effort तुम्हारा कैसे जा रहा है. But if you're talking only about hookups, it only fills, I feel like, a very certain part. Like as you said, it will fill a certain amount of your needs for a particular time being. They can, then you would want something that is a bit more sustainable, substantial, ki you would want to have a pattern. But then if you're constantly into hookups for like a long time, I feel like if you do receive that pattern, you wouldn't know how to accept it, how to accept that pattern. And then there is a possibility that you would fall back into your old patterns, which is just very toxic for the other person. I feel like it's just a possibility. I have not done any research about this, but with the way that I've observed a lot of people around me, I feel like people do that. He like, oh, kuch to ho gaya, one party and something. It doesn't even have to be like dead on cheating. It can also be now the worst type of micro cheatings, flirting with people, looking people up and down. It happens.
I mean, the whole micro cheating thing is just a fucking joke for me.
It is not a joke. Okay, micro cheating is not a
What
joke.
what do you mean micro cheating, bro? You either cheat or you don't. What is micro cheating?
Micro cheating is like, according to the internet, it's like small acts of cheating that doesn't calculate in like a big cheating thing, but it affects us. Like example would be
Watching porn.
watching porn, liking. I think like liking other girls' ka story is like a bit,
Gray.
yeah, it's like a gray area because it depends who it is and what type of person and
Yeah,
relationships
but
like
if
people
it
have
if it
with each
affects your
other.
partner, it is a big deal. Like for me personally, if anything were to affect my partner, then it would be a big deal for me, and I would stray away from that fact entirely. No matter how drunk I am, no matter how high I am at any of the parties, but still, like I I personally wouldn't go walk in that direction if my partner is getting hurt in that process.
Okay, I think that's like a very good thought in general.
Okay,
Not a red flag.
sorry, I also wanted to add something. Could you repeat the investment wala thing, right? Which you were talking about, where you don't want to take the risk if you don't get it back, right? I had something to add to that or counter it. So I feel if you're gonna be looking, so I'm not trying to say ki, oh, like the girl you start dating or something. I'm not telling you to just keep dating. That's not the thing I'm trying to say. I'm saying ki people are not ready to take the chance or at least open their hearts out to love, is what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying you should stop hooking up. I am not saying hooking up is bad or anything, right? Do whatever you want with your life, right? But I've also seen people who are into casuals, how it changes them and their mentality as a whole as well. When you constantly put yourself through that physical interaction with a stranger, right? Constantly again and again and again, it is bound to rewire your brain in some way or the other. You could agree or disagree, but physical intimacy will always be connected with somewhere or the other emotionally with a person. Okay, I don't believe physical intimacy works as well as when you have that emotional intimacy with as well with someone. Okay, comparing maybe physical intimacy with someone that you've loved a lot versus hooking up with a random person, right? It has a huge difference, right? And again, now the investing part where you don't get by, I'm not saying ki you would get the same treatment from any girl that you start dating or you fall in love with, right? The point is to open your heart out, not सामने वाले का वो उनका concern है. And I can get why anyone would be scared, but the point is you should do it from love, out of love from your own heart, not because you love, not because you're giving out something so you want that love back. Giving out something from love is because you have so much, you have this deep feeling for someone, like, because I've known you for so many years, right? I have love for you as a friend, so I'm ready to do anything for you and I won't expect it back, right? That is what I mean. When you talk about love, even in friendships, you do something for a person out of feelings that you have for them, not because you know कि अगर तुमने ये किया तो हम आगे जाके तुम्हारे लिए वो कुछ करेंगे ही, right? People often confuse that, in love as well, कि अरे मैंने उसको प्यार किया उसने मेरे को इतना नहीं किया. Of course वो necessary नहीं है. That depends from person to person. उनके पास क्या maybe trauma holding them back, or something or the, and everyone's backstories are different, correct? So everyone's different, and everyone has different styles of how they love someone, correct? So maybe someone likes to make gifts for someone else when they're in love. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love is in a lot of different ways you can love someone. You could love someone by making them mixtapes, right? And then gifting them an entire year to play those mixtapes on them. Maybe making or getting them 100 flowers ka ek bouquet. It could be anything, right? As long as you're doing it out without expecting something in return, right? And that is what I'm trying to say is that is not happening enough, right? People are more or less scared to invest in this, not in the person, to invest in opening their hearts. People don't want to do that. People don't want to get vulnerable. People don't want to get hurt, which is what I don't like about this, this whole thing, where casual hookups have become the norm now, right? Pehle it was like, it wasn't so normal pehle. I mean, okay, I don't think I have a lot of knowledge on that, so I would take the sentence back, but
Yeah, because
go ahead.
like even in our previous generations, like our brothers and sisters would not talk about it, but they've done it as well.
Yeah,
Everybody,
for sure,
everybody's
for
been in
sure,
that position.
for sure. No, I'm not saying they haven't done it. Again, I said I have no knowledge or information on that, so I would like to take that sentence back. Right?
Yeah, hookups have always been a part of the society, bro.
I feel like yeah, I feel that they are more open now. The
Yeah,
stigma has been reduced. Because first of all, because everyone is living so independently, so nuclearly, people are not people are trying very hard to not depend on their parents. We are seeing more and more youth trying to live alone with roommates or anywhere else, mainly to make their career, otherwise to get away from the family. But when to track back to family itself, I feel a lot of people are also not inclined towards relationships because they have seen their families, because they don't want to maybe end up having a family that is so messed up. I think it is very common. I think people are scared to either relationship will get fucked up. They might fuck up because they think that they are not good enough for whatever reason. They think that because throughout their childhood they have seen so much. They have never seen a good relationship in front of them for them to believe that it is something that they can achieve. So they also do tend to just go slip into that area. I think that is very possible because I've seen a lot of my friends also be like, I don't want to. I've seen a lot of people preferring hookups because it is just much easier to spend that much of time with someone. I think it's like a very gray area because I don't think that hookups are only like a one night thing. They are not. It is like such
yeah.
a tricky situation. You can be in like a hookup type of situation with someone for months on end, months, years also. It's possible. You're not in a relationship, you're not even in whatever they call a situationship is. It is not even a situationship. You are friends with benefits is also like a far-fetched thing. I've seen people just be like, okay, our vibe matches, so sure, and then we see. And there is nothing that is necessarily bad about it, but it is just not sustainable for the future, because the generation right now, we are still young. We, of course,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say people should settle down at this age, not before they are settling down in all the other aspects. They should not settle down with relationships. But I think it is very important for people to have a stable framework in their lives. Does not necessarily mean relationships. Friendships are a very, very good way of staying stable. Other thing why people are, I feel like, opting to not get into direct relationships is because they are not settled. उनको पता नहीं कि आज वो ये सिटी में रहेंगे कि कल कौन से सिटी में
Mhm.
रहेंगे, where will they be. uh, they might not want to do long distance. They might not, they like, if I get the opportunity कि मुझे कल परसों if I can go abroad, I don't want a dilemma in my head ki what will I choose? Will it work? Because then that would add to the stress. So I feel like a lot of people are doing that. And the other thing that I feel in general, that relationships, people are opting for hookups instead of relationships is because of the fear of what's it called? Not commitment. Commitment also, but it is monotony कि तुम्हारा सब सेम हो जाएगा.
Hmm.
There is nothing new that you're doing. There
Yeah.
is nothing fun that you're doing. No one wants to experiment anymore. I feel people fear that because I know that there is a thrill every time you're talking to a new person. There has to be a thrill because there is no other reason that you would do it. I mean, there are different reasons, yeah, I know, but there has to be a particular other thing that is driving you emotionally, and that is not your sexual needs, that is not your need to want love or whatever. That is just the adrenaline that is talking to you most of the times.
See, at this current age, I would say ki sustaining a relationship is very difficult for us because everybody's trying to build their lives. And like in this situation, even if you get into the relationship, if your partner understands the fact that you are trying to create a life out here and they also have to create a life for themselves, and so like you both must walk a path individually, and you have to be there when one of you falls behind.
Yeah, I understand.
And nobody has that patience to wait for someone when they fall behind. Like everybody's like, it's their life, they'll do it. But at times you have to wait for that person in order to get help them get their life back on track.
Mhm.
And people are afraid to do so because they think that it slows them down and everything. It does slow you down. Love will slow you down.
As they say, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together.
Yeah, exactly. Love will slow you down. Love will have you crying at nights. Love will have you smiling every other morning. But the main point behind like love, and the point that he said that everybody is afraid to open their hearts to it, because at some point in their life they've been made a joke about that whole situation. Not everybody is afraid to open their hearts to anyone, but like due to past trauma, due to some past fucked up situations, people tend to close their heart to some situations because like they don't want to be the butt of the joke again.
Because when they did try to do that,
Yeah,
they were ridiculed for
yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yeah. You know what this comes to? I feel like there is like this horrible gray area when you're talking about relationships and hookups. Is this thing called open relationships, which is the worst fucking thing ever. Like why to stick with one when you can have both? And I hate open relationships as a concept.
Open relationships are a joke.
There's just
Let's have
Okay.
open-ended relationships. No more open relationships.
I hope that this gets into like that what Britannia dictionary. Whatever.
Britannia?
Urban Dictionary.
Urban dictionary, sorry,
Yeah.
my bad.
Britannia dictionary.
ठीक है ना Britannia.
पार्ले जी, Jimmy Jam और क्या है?
Good day.
गुड्डे भी है?
Okay, can I have
Vita Mari.
hide and seek?
No, hide and seek Britannia का है.
मेरे को नहीं पता किसका है. I want to. I just thought we were naming this guy.
What were the things that made you choose hookups over love?
I haven't chosen hookups over love. It's just the fact that currently at this age, I would rather give my energy to myself than somebody else. And like everybody has sexual needs, and everybody must find a way to match them.
Yeah, I totally get that actually.
Yeah.
No, I understand that. You make a good point, definitely. But
Are we having a date right now? Are we like in sides? Because I'm not on any side.
I mean, I am on. I'm also like. I'm more towering towards the. Yeah, but then again, they're all really opposites. Exactly.
I'm
Like,
definitely on the.
They're on their own spectrums, their own areas.
I feel like I'm more on the side of. I feel like I'm more on the side of people can do whatever they want as long as it's not hurting them and others.
Yeah. Same.
Hookups should always be mutual. Like the
Because I feel
person
A
you
lot
are.
of people- I feel like a lot of people that are into. Sorry, one more minute.
Guys, podcast is cancelled. Only Gautami is going to be talking now.
Reference to episode 1. No. So, link for the yaar.
Trains
Wait, no,
left the
I was
station.
making a good point. It was that
Finally.
who invited him? Everyone will get approved by me, yeah, first. No, अरे यार I forgot.
मैं बात कर लूं? सोच ले हाँ. नहीं सोच लेना तू.
Even I forgot.
No, okay. I wanted to also ask you, do you think casual hookups maybe okay, please go ahead then. Go ahead.
Because we were talking about casual hookups, I feel like a lot of people think that casual hookups are toxic is because a lot of people think that it kind of has an image ki, oh, hooking up, it's not seen in the best light. I feel like people can do it, but it is more if you can't just like imagine going to a bar and you're just getting like the person that you hooked up with, like, oh yeah, this is my hookup. You can't say that, na, like this is my boyfriend. वैसा नहीं बोल सकते. So you just have to keep it on the down low. But I feel like a lot of people, even though for men, I think hookups is much more fun, but for women, it is a bit more of a risky place. Like they want to do it, but they can't outright say that they want to do it. But at the same time, they are scared. Who are they talking to that would, like, if it's like more of like a Hinge, Bumble, blind date thing, then it's like much more of like a scarier gray area. उसको घर बुलाऊं, मैं उसके घर जाऊं, pepper spray रखूं, क्या रखूं खुद के साथ, and like shit like that. But a lot of fuck boys out there I have seen. I was once going through one of my friends' Hinge account because I was bored, and we were just like, oh, look at this. And then like three swipes later, I saw the same guy, and I was like, hey, wait, didn't we just swipe through him? And she had to like look me in the eyes and like, all of them look the same. Okay, I need you to understand. All of them are the same, and I'm like, oh, maybe I won't get into here.
मेरे को एक साल में कभी किसी ने स्वाइप नहीं किया. I don't look the same, bro. I think I look a lot different, by the way.
Everyone swipe for one year.
No, I deleted my account. Y'all done made me get off the account only, भाई. आयुष बैन हो गया और मैं खुद ने डिलीट कर दिया मैंने.
I'm back, bro. I'm back.
Who got him back? Get him out.
Let me get laid in peace, bro.
Yeah, no, sorry. So the question, do you have more to add to your point? हाँ. तो हो गया वो एक बार हो गया reference. Okay. What I wanted to ask is, do you believe that casual hookup culture, as people call it, culture, do you think it also adds to or supports infidelity in relationships?
If you are somebody,
Really?
yeah, micro cheating and everything.
Yeah, no, but I'm talking about proper. Like, I know a lot of people, I shouldn't say this, but have cheated on their partners, right? And be it they are into casual hookups, yes or no, whatever, but they have. Okay. But I also think कि maybe it does constitute or increase the chances of you committing infidelity. I'll tell you why. I'll also tell you why. I'll tell you why. Because I feel that the more you're intimate with people that you don't know, you also start rewiring your brain a little because you are constantly feeding your brain whatever it needs at the right, like at the instant, like just say, like instant gratification, right?
I love instant gratification as a concept.
Right, instant gratification. Hooking up is instant gratification, right? So if that is the case, don't you think it would also maybe pass on or carry forward some aspects when you're in a relationship? Because samjho, let's say hypothetically, a Ayush, okay, he has been hooking up with many different people for a year. No, you can wait. Okay, for a year, and suddenly he meets this girl who's has him on his toes. He's head over heels for her, right? But this Ayush is of course scared, one, or not even scared, but unsure to get into a relationship because it's been so long, right? It's been so long since he's experienced it, right? Let's say he does get in a relationship with her, he is going to have some traits that do not actually align with how a relationship is, because number one, he's been maybe out of the game, that's why, but also because yo, you can wait, bro.
I'm just having my mic.
Yeah, so you can just interrupt me, guys. This is Gautami's podcast. Okay. Yeah, no, wait, matlab, like, yeah, wait, thank you. Traits, right? Some, like, very little. No, not only that, but also because of the hookup culture itself, because you've gotten so used to just hooking up constantly. Don't you think you would also be expecting that maybe constantly from your partner, and maybe then the relationship starts turning into like a thing where it's only catering to your sexual needs, and then you kind of forget about the emotional needs that you have, and you also start ignoring your partner's emotional needs, and you don't want to emotionally invest in it, but now, like, but also then you start missing the whole thing where you were like single and you were constantly hooking up with here and there, because you now start missing the adrenaline, because now when you're in the deep waters. Yeah, no, I'm also adding your points only.
Very good point.
Yeah, because then you start when you're in the deep water. Yeah, when you're in that deep water, right? Matlab, let's say hooking up is you standing on a beach with water on your feet over here, and the relationship when you're like the water is still here, right? Because there's a lot at stake.
Balls deep in water.
Sure. I mean, you're kind of neck deep, but theek hai. Um,
You want to go out for a swim now?
okay, बहुत swimming references होते जा रहे हैं. Swamp.
Swamp is over.
Swarm. Oh, वो कहाँ से आ गया?
Swimming, swamp, because then
Just shut the fuck up. Okay.
Gators.
Yeah, नहीं हाँ. तो you know वो sudden एक तो change will be very different and maybe difficult. Sorry? No, no, no. Did you forget what I was talking about already?
I thought you were asking him.
No, 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 no.
Do you think he
So
was asking you?
no, yeah, no. So why? So you start missing that adrenaline, and you might start feeling ki, okay, something's missing. When you become, because again maybe not, maybe it goes towards addiction as well a little. If you think about it, if you've been constantly doing something for a elongated period of time, don't you think you'll get addicted to it?
Yeah.
Right? So maybe it's withdrawal symptoms showing in this way.
I get exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, maybe I'm giving the wrong terminologies for things, but I hope you get what I'm trying to say, right? But so little things start showing up in that relationship, and now it could go either two ways. You start becoming a different person altogether, right? A different side of you starts coming out, which was always suppressed, right, for a long time, or you become you get on a negative side. You start looking for other people. You start thinking about other people. You start thinking about the fun of cheating and talking to different people outside of your relationship, on the sly, right? you know could be either of the two, right? And
Before you had like a roster.
yeah, before you had like roster, boys jaise karte hain, roster, your team, I'm talking to this girl, that
Bench
girl, I'm doing this,
players.
that.
Like a hockey
Yeah,
before when
yeah. And I can tell you this for a fact, it is very different for someone who's been in a relationship once and then maybe a break and then again in one, versus someone who was in a relationship, was a year of hooking up and then again in a relationship. Very different experiences, right? So what do you think about this?
See, personally, if you are getting into a relationship after a year of hooking up, you have to be aware of what the relationship will ask you for. Like, you have to be aware of the fact that you will have to let go of the life you've lived for the past year. And if you can't control your own brain, then yeah, what are you really a good person? Like, are you really moral?
Then it questions your moral.
Yeah.
it does question your morals. Yeah. No, I exactly get it. I feel like instant gratification here would be like the wrong term. I feel if you're in a relationship, then you would get instant gratification
No.
much easier.
No.
Because then you can ask for it samne se
No, but
from the person that you like.
But no, wait. Again, you're correct. You are asking it for it samne se, but it is also consensual,
Yeah.
right? So it's not like, अरे आज मेरे को थोड़ा मन हो रहा है, can you do it?
So that is like an
वैसे नहीं,
understanding
right?
that you would have with your
वैसे नहीं,
partner,
right?
right?
Yeah,
So
but then you're also investing something more.
yeah, of course you're
So
investing
you're
something
not
more.
investing anything in a
Nathan Greenwood.
casual hookup.
Of course you're not.
वही तो बोल रहा हूँ, इसलिए तो
लेकिन
I
it
said
takes
hookups
more,
are-
but it takes more effort to actually get that casual hookup. Not more efforts, but it takes
I don't think
efforts,
so.
and it
I
does.
don't
I
think
mean,
so.
I don't know. I've
See,
never done that.
Hookups
but
are something which are very mutual. Like, if the girl
it is,
wants
of course,
it,
it.
and if the guy
I feel
wants
like
it, then-
everything should be consensual. I don't think that
yeah.
is.
No, but like, there are some men out there who, like, feed girls things that, like, that they are not gonna give them exactly. Like, they'll
Manipulating.
promise about a relationship and then just
सबने
ghost her.
दिखाएंगे but fulfill नहीं
हाँ.
करेंगे.
But so you do understand that there is still like that type of mental effort that people are putting. They're investing a different type of effort to get that. But it's not ki so relationships are you put efforts to sustain something, but hookups are putting efforts to achieve something. The goals are very
No, but
different.
You're feeding something.
What do you mean by
Like
feeding?
you're feeding a need that you have when
Yeah,
you're
but you're
hooking up.
still
But
putting the
but when
effort,
it's a
right?
relationship, or not even relationship, when you're in a proper good amount of time in a relationship and you actually love that person, okay, like now because we were talking about love and not relationship, But let's take out the love part. Okay, let's say you're very new in a relationship, right? And you like that person, correct? Um, so compared to, so yeah, so I would see hookups as instant gratification, because now what I'm trying to say is, sorry,
So
Mitra,
like
beech
it is
mein I
something
lost
that you
my train
can,
of thought,
yeah,
but
yeah.
the point is ki, uh, here you have something to lose. You have to become vulnerable. You start sharing things that you normally wouldn't. You are going to be with one person for a very long time, and you also want to put in that efforts to maintain that relation with that person.
Yeah, so that's what I said. You're trying to sustain it.
Correct, correct.
Sustain a lot
So,
of
but you're
different
not trying to
things.
sustain the hookup part, right? वो तो तुमको मिलते ही, it's like, why I meant that was instant gratification, because let's say you have a need or you have a urge ki, okay, I feel like I wanna get laid tonight. You know, now you may have your means whatsoever, wherever you find the person who mutually wants to hook up with you. But it's again, it's instant gratification, because once that's done, that urge is over. You've fulfilled that, you've satisfied that urge, right? And then it's like वही हमने 12th में पढ़ा LDMU. Wait,
किसमें?
Trial and error.
Psychology में?
economics.
Economics. अरे
No, अरे no, because that theory is connected to psychology.
LDMU is like what?
अरे the
Lower the demand.
no. It's a theory. Like the more you get of a thing, the more you start wanting it, right?
Who is
let's say,
economic
let's say
major here?
drugs. Let's say drugs. Okay, like let's say you start having. Okay, I don't have personal.
Are you putting
experience in
addictions
this.
in here?
This is
Yeah,
a
yeah,
good
yeah.
conversation.
Okay, yeah, that's psychology for me.
Yeah, no way. So like, let's say you hypothetically have a gram of Molly. Oh, I don't know what drug
I
gets
didn't-
addictive.
Let's
I don't
start
know.
with caffeine.
Okay,
MDMT.
I don't know what's like an addictive drug, but let's
Caffeine
take
is
any addictive drug. Okay, you have a small amount. You feel good. It wears down, वगैरह, whatever. But you instantly gratify your brain and you satisfy it, right? And then you want more and more. Okay, so yeah, I have a perfect example. Cannabis. Okay, perfect example. Cannabis. You you start with a small amount. You get high, wears off. Then आगे जाके you need more and more of it to actually get to that high when you
That
got
is
the first
because-
time.
So biologically that happens because I feel like you should know it, right? You know it. Biologically that yeah, but he's doing physio.
Oh, physio. That's why.
Yeah.
I thought you call him a druggie or something.
No, no, he does physio, so he must know the biology of it. So because if you do something, then your brain, I forgot the part of the brain that it will get used to that. So abhi agar if you like, let's say that I'm still going to take the caffeine example
Sure.
here. Caffeine or nicotine. I feel nicotine is like a good addictive drug to take an example of. If you take, let's say that you smoke one cigarette, okay, you have that much. You might get like a hit at the first half a cigarette first, but then because your tolerance starts increasing because of it, then it's like another half. तो फिर वो थोड़ा बढ़ता जाता है and then your body starts needing it because now it only knows how to function with that
With
drug.
that.
So your tolerance has increased. Like पहले इतना था, अभी your body has started to function with this much nicotine. So if it's not getting this much nicotine, this is how much it will need just to function, and then this much more to have the hit.
This is the exact point that I was making when I said
What
year-long.
3 to 4 different examples he gave.
Yeah, I had a lot of them. Sorry. I
It's fine. It's fine.
yeah. So no, just to
Run time मिल रहा है.
TRP बढ़ रहा है हमारा.
Cut कर देंगे.
We are not cutting this. If you're watching me say this to you, this has not been cut.
इसको एडिटर किसने बनाया? मैंने
हाँ?
मैंने ही बनाया एडिटर.
नहीं.
हाँ.
कुछ काम करना नहीं है तो मुझे बना दे.
Okay, can I leave the set right the fuck now then?
Bye. वैसे भी दो ही माइक है,
मैंने ही लाया.
Cut. Okay. Sorry. Do you have anything to say on that?
Yeah.
So it was just sorry.
Yeah,
Last
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Last thing.
Insisted on the instant gratification thing.
No. No, wait. No, because you said कि you wouldn't call it instant. Isliye I give this
I
example.
wouldn't call it instant gratification.
But no, wait. Isliye I just gave this example. What I meant by why some traits would follow on if you get into a relationship after a is it called prolonged period of hooking up or casual hookups or whatever it is, right? So that is why I just give this example. That's all.
Yeah, but like in the end, it all comes down to how you can control your own mind. Like if you can't control the thoughts that go into your head, can you? Are you really ready for a relationship? Because relationship will put a lot of thoughts in your head. You'll end up overthinking nights on end, and if you can't control it, it will get the best of you.
I feel like what point you were making, I also understand ki when you're looking for a hookup, you know exactly what you want. The other person also knows exactly what you want. Same goal.
Yeah,
But if someone likes you, if both of you mutually like each other, then I feel like you are going to want to spend a bit more time together before you get into something that physical, because then it's not just physical, then it's intimate.
yeah,
Then there is a difference, then you are actually spending emotions and shit like that. Now once you get past that threshold, ki you're intimate also and you're emotional also, you're linked up, now you're proper linked up, then the instant gratification is there, because now you're so linked up that you can openly ask for it, and if there is a rejection you can openly take it. And but most of the times I think that you would be able to get something or the other out of it, but also that I don't think that is going to be very unconditional. It is going to be very unconditional, it is going to be unconditional in a relationship once you have linked up. अगर किसने बोला नहीं मुझे अभी नहीं करना है, let's not now, then if you have the uh, understanding enough, and even as a person if you're good enough, then you will take that immediately. And if you like the person enough, both of you, if you like enough, then it is a possibility that you might want to just do something or the other just for yourself, because
yeah,
at this point it's just the two of you. It is not, you're not doing something for like a very superior, it is just what you do. Then it becomes like a part of the things that you do. But then again, it's part of the things, not the thing. There are other things.
yeah,
So as they say in relationships, you have to put these many efforts, and once all of it aligns, then you can get to like a proper supreme part of your entire relationship journey.
So I had something to add when you said ki you'd be able to take the rejection part and also other things. But I think if for a prolonged period of time you've been hooking up, I'm not gonna say yeah, yeah. I won't say that this applies to everyone, but there are chances that now you would go out looking for something to get because you were into it so long, right? That is number one thing. The other thing is you were talking about, are you really ready for a relationship, right? When you pointed that out, um well, then agar you're never going to be ready then if you look at it, because agar if you've always been into casual hookups, right, you're never really looking for anything serious, right? You are always just going by koi aayegi ya, like what I'm trying to say is ki koi randomly, you start liking someone, you're not taken time to work on yourself. You're just for the thrill of it, for uh, full satisfying your hunger for sexual needs. If you keep feeding it again and again and again, let's say वो time बीत गया है, right? A lot of time has passed of you doing the same thing again and again. Of course, it has changed you a lot as a person, correct? Then how do you expect to anyways get in a relationship, you know, unless you take out the time to actually stop feeding that hunger, right? वो point about are you even morally right or are you even right for a relationship will only come, or you will only be ready for it if you take out the time to get that self control as well as work on yourself and be rational as well as emotionally stable to invest that amount of time and emotional vulnerability in the relationship, correct? So unless you take out time to actually uh, prepare yourself or I don't know, work on yourself, so to anyways you can't, you know It's not even a question about एक साल के बाद you randomly get into a relationship with someone. You can't. You won't. You will not be able to stay only because इतना time बीत गया है. इतना time you've been in that phase of your life. You've forgotten you or not even forgotten. You don't know how it feels, right? So of course it's going to be impossible for you.
See, but like if you see, मैं मेरे perspective से बताता हूँ. If I really like someone, then I might be present on those dating apps, but I won't be using them as much as I would if I weren't speaking to them. She has something to say.
Hold on. So you're in a relationship and you're on a dating app, you're saying?
No.
Okay.
If I like someone, like I'm not in a relationship, but if I am trying to build something with someone, unless
So
I
you're
get
still on the
into a
bridge.
no, I'm not on the bridge. I'm not using it. I just have an
No,
account
like
there.
on the bridge of like towards the
Yeah,
relationship.
towards the relationship.
Okay.
Yeah. So like I would personally like take time while we are still speaking to make myself into something that is much more like fathomable for the relationship.
That's only going to work temporarily though.
How?
I feel like it would really, really differ from person to person.
See,
Maybe, but
what
if you
I am
think about but if you think about it, if your motivation completely about changing yourself is a relationship, then that motivation of course tainted and it's only gonna work temporarily for you till the relationship lasts. And as soon as you're out, you're gonna again revert back to or even get worse maybe. It's like sorry, it's like taking Monjoro ke injections.
What?
I'll explain why. I'll explain why. A doctor
Monjoro ke?
वो weight company वाला injection.
Ozempic?
Yeah. So let's say you take Ozempic, you have to constantly take it to reduce your weight and all. Okay, and the side effect is, of course, other than the obvious side effects, which is vomiting, वगैरह
Mhm.
वगैरह वगैरह. But if you revert back to the old lifestyle which you had before taking the injections, you're gonna get double of what you were, right? And I'm only using this as an example to explain my point. Okay, this is not anywhere linked, only as an example.
Yeah.
No, I mean अभी कैसे तो explain करना पड़ेगा ना. तो again it is a weird analogy, but the point is कि अगर तुम्हारा motivation is completely only because you like someone and you're gonna change yourself for that person, then it is going to be tainted and कहीं कभी ना कभी वो mask उतर जाएगा and you're gonna get वो धीरे धीरे करके the old persona is gonna start seeping through.
I think that the real question here now is, are fuckboys redeemable or not?
I think everyone is redeemable if they put in the time for it.
But
Time,
See, exactly. Now we have our answer.
yeah,
if
time.
you see, talking about your point, I will only like I am Ayush Vyas, and I don't think anybody would love me for the person that I am. Like for the person that I am,
Vansh is trying to say that
romantically,
he loves you
romantically.
very much
Yeah,
romantically.
I know he does. I love him more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like,
The thing about the point that I am trying to make is every girl has a mold for their like typical boyfriend or husband material dude.
Matlab ki how my boyfriend or
Yeah,
husband
yeah.
should be.
yeah, I
Yeah.
agree to some extent.
I mean,
Yeah,
like,
so, like-
would everyone want like a certain traits? अभी तुम पूरा का पूरा आदमी थोड़ी ना बना सकते, लेकिन you would prefer ना
Yeah.
कि ये ऐसा
So
ऐसा
like
हो
I
थोड़ा
would
सा.
I would take my time out to study those traits and make myself into something which
Okay, that is wrong.
how is that
Because
wrong?
you shouldn't change yourself
I'm
to
not
be with
changing
someone.
myself.
He literally just said that he will. You literally.
I'm not changing myself.
You
I
literally
am
said
just
you're
making
molding
additions.
yourself. So फिर okay, so that is still changing.
वही तो
I
मैं बोला
will-
वो mold एक ना it's like a rubber band, वो एक ना एक दिन वापस आ जाएगा.
Okay.
Yeah, so
First of all, we have to learn how to accept ourselves, and then we have to learn. Then we have to try to find someone who will accept us for us. But again, वो मतलब नहीं है कि मैं कैसे भी रहूंगा इसीलिए ये. You have to be nice in general, like as a person. If you are nice, then people will be attracted towards you. But if you are aiming to make additions or change or mold yourself, to for like a certain person, she likes me to be like this, that is why I'm trying to be like that, then you are going to hate yourself for changing later on, and then you will hate her because then you will think ki, you wanted a guy like this, that's why I'm like this, so now it's your fault because now I'm fucking messed up because you decided to change yourself to be that person. It will not last, it will be very temporary, you will hate yourself, it does not last. You have to find someone, no matter what, on the basis of ki main aisa hu, these are the changes that I can make in myself so that I can be a better person. And if these traits align with someone else, ki someone else is looking for a guy like me, then I will be there. I have to make this very clear out. Do not change yourself for a person or another. That would be horrible, not a long term thing. I feel like I made my point here very clear.
Do you have something to say?
I mean, like, it's not like you have to completely change yourself. Ayush Vyas will still be Ayush Vyas.
तो हम कोई ना बोले कि आयुष क्या sorry बताना.
Yes.
I'll still be myself. But the point that I was trying to make is, see, if you want to settle with someone, you'll have to make adjustments.
Adjustments is different and changing yourself is different.
Yeah, they are two completely
Yeah.
different things though.
Adjustments and compromises are inevitable. वो करना ही पड़ेगा.
Yeah.
But you see, okay, I will say I
But-
am in a relationship. I've been in a relationship for a long time, but I will never say that I lost who I was. I gained things from a relationship. I gained things from a relationship. It definitely made me change as a person, but that is what the relationship did to me in general, in a good way. I did not change myself to be in that relationship. And whoever I'm with, the person that I'm with, I know that he loves me because of the way that I am, not because I changed myself for him. This is just like a very borderline example. And I've seen a lot of other relationships like that. I don't think that it should be anyone should change themselves. And I've said this before 100 times because I've seen when people have changed themselves and it did not work out. And it just ended up horribly, both sides. Mental health was fucked. They are because once a relationship gets messed up, your how you perceive any other interpersonal relation, interpersonal connection with other people, it really fucks you up. It is not redeemable that quickly. It will take time. So better is to know this and then not regret it in the future because we are still young. We can still, see for someone. You're not looking to settle down and get married by like what 23. You're not looking for that. So you have the time. Do not change yourself. I feel like a lot of youth is doing that right now, and that's why it's so fucking fucked up. They are changing themselves for other people. Do not do that.
Yeah, भाई that's why मैं बोला ना देखो कि the original personality will start seeping through धीरे धीरे करके, right? It is always going to be a temporary mask that you're wearing.
And there are like hundreds of movies with like the same type of way that we changed. I'm sure that there are like media pieces out there that show that, like deep media pieces. I'm not sure if I've watched any, but I'm sure that there are there where people have changed themselves
There must
for another person and they've ended up hating it. I feel it's also very real. I've read it. Pe jao dekho.
Yeah. What do you think?
I mean, I kind of do agree to what she said. Ki like you should not like change yourself in a manner ki like you start hating someone for it. But change is still necessary.
Change is necessary.
Yeah, change
Yeah.
is necessary, but not in personality is what we're trying to say.
Yeah.
Like you can't change yourself for
I
someone.
wasn't talking about myself. Like my personality will still be there, but just I need to make those adjustments, or like I need to add something to my own self in order to be ready for that relationship.
For any relationship or for like a specific relationship.
For a specific person that I am ready to like bring those additions in. I'm ready to accept those additions.
I'm still at this. I'm still of the same opinion. I feel again you can make changes for a relationship, like a relationship in general. This is what relationships ask for: patience. They ask for understanding. They ask for compromise. Are you able to do all of those things? अभी ये सब में कौन से changes होंगे is something that is dependent on the relationship that you get into. But you cannot get into the relationship and then you cannot get in, you cannot change yourself before the relationship exactly.
Yeah.
वो नहीं कर सकते पहले तुम खुद मोल्ड में नहीं डाल सकते because again everything is performative. You think that the उसका जो like whatever she is looking for the mold, you think that it is based on what she exactly wants. What if she doesn't know what she wants? What if she's just basing it off on the things that she has observed? What if it's not what she actually wants, and once she gets into the relationship she realizes that it's not what she wants, but you molded yourself to be like what she thought that she wants. It's
No,
all fucking
then
wrong.
then she's kind of in the wrong as well.
Yeah,
She's also
that's
Yeah,
a
she's in
canon
the
event
yeah
for me.
yeah yeah, yeah.
but
She's,
then you
she's
are also getting
very
hurt.
much yeah, but she is majorly in the wrong to get someone else also uh, committed with her in a relationship when she doesn't know what she wants, right? You should always be at least know a little bit of what you exactly
Yeah,
want.
you should be aware
Yeah,
about it.
yeah, and also aware about what you are yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah, right. Otherwise, you're just trying to ruin someone else's life or something.
All right, so I feel like we have spoken
a
A
lot.
a
lot
lot about
on this.
yeah. I feel like it's a conversation that would be never ending if we can just add more people. I feel
Yeah,
like
Yeah,
everyone has
yeah,
their
yeah.
own perspectives, but I think for the conclusion for this exact thing, I feel like it really depends on the generation. Not it doesn't
No.
depend on the
Okay, no. But
generation. Sorry,
okay.
but
Should I conclude?
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. I think hooking up is all right, right? But it shouldn't come at the cost where you are changing as a person and kind of
yeah,
losing yourself, right? And also, I don't think relationship is more superior than, or someone who's in a relationship more superior than someone who's more into casual. Okay, that is all. These are all both choices that you make. But if you're making these choices, you should be very much aware of what you're doing. Simply, right?
try not to hurt yourself.
Yeah,
Try not to hurt
yeah,
other
yeah,
people. Just be
yeah,
considerate
definitely.
yeah.
about everyone around you.
All right, we'll be back with after a short 2-minute break. See you guys.
Johnny, did you ever love me? Johnny, help me figure it out. Not that I've paid attention, but you haven't said it out loud. Johnny, do you see what you're doing? What you're making me think about? This wasn't supposed to be a love song, but I guess it is now.